Okay, so episode 3. I've just entered this house on the harbour. It's a shop. Oh no, what are you doing? Oh, I thought it was going outside.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
Let your gaze run over the street light.
The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently. This would make quite a statement in your living room.
Where did you get this?
It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
How much for a street light?
700 real. A bargain, I dare say.
Are you out of your mind? They're just like that on every corner.
The light has undergone 3 transformations, and every transformation, large or small, has a price tag.
What do you mean, transformations?
Well, there are the cost of removal and rewiring. The most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago.
Transformation.
Okay, that checks out.
Yeah. There's nothing else you need to know about the light.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty. Try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back.
I don't want to gamble. Win her back?
Yes. Buy something nice. A figurine. This sounds off. You shouldn't trust this guy. Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks. The kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye.
Who are they?
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious about these guys.
A long, long time ago.
Blue uniforms.
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like the bright colours indiscriminately.
Figurines in rags.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks.
Are these even soldiers?
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers, revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win.
It's impossible to win against the cohorts of capital. That's my friend Gart, whose bitch had made me.
Okay. I don't like either set too much, to be honest.
I'm not chancing it at 42%. Sick of
The
losing.
broom boxes on the shelf look well loved and well traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels. One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. This is you. Golden orange. A sunset suite. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Are you sure this is all in working order?
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech. Found sounds and music from a variety of genres. even though I don't really like music.
This stereo 8 Pro machine here.
Is the Harman Welsh W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul, plays all reel-to-reel format, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real.
Could this device come in handy in my police work?
If police work means playing tapes, sure. You can use it for that. Or any other time you'd need to play a tape.
That's all.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Tell me, have you had any trouble here lately?
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Quite the collection indeed.
It keeps me entertained.
Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what?
At 58%, I'll go above that. Oh, right, and I've got it at 5.
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Pyrrolidon. It's tough to come by on the street.
Pyrrolidon? What's that?
A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
Sir, could you take your sunglasses off? I'd like to check your eyes.
Why on earth? These are prescription. I can't really see without them.
There's a note of indignation in his voice. Interesting. Those triangle patches on his vest, you have a feeling they mean something, like they're similar to the halogen rectangle on your jacket.
It's pretty obvious that you're under the influence, sir.
Pyrrolidon is just something since the People's Power disaster, I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade. Had to take it for radiation sickness.
He's taken for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
Tell me more about this Emergency Relief Brigade.
We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized. Tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill. I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud. Years getting sick.
The People's Pile, what's that?
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you too.
Must have been a tough radioactive cleanup.
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened. And why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment. And early deaths. Cancer mostly. And we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up as best we could.
Whose fault was it that the generator failed?
No one's. Everyone's.
So much bitterness.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen?
How did you end up running a pawn shop?
The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this shack and all the assorted junk in it. So I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forburg as I can. Still in the same city, but
Thank you for telling me.
I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
Care to share your Perilodon with me?
Have you tried it before?
The lieutenant steps away, pretending to admire some of the knickknacks on display. Looks like, go ahead then, he thinks. As long as you can walk straight, I don't care.
I think I tried it once and liked it.
Here you go, man.
Yes, darling. That's the coalition government ordained Perilodon. Straight into your gut. Not so sure about this.
Refuse to take it for now.
I respect your decision, officer. What else can I help you with?
I don't have anything to sell. You might be able to assist.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have.
Know anything about the recent hanging?
I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business. Bad for everyone.
Fine, that's all I've got.
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colours.
Do you happen to have any guns, just like what I would carry?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
Was the buyer a policeman too?
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
Must probably want to. What if she intends to commit a crime and blame it on the militia?
You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her.
Anyway, how do you reckon find this buyer?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
At least I know how I lost it. Let's talk about something else.
Of course.
I have other business to take care of now. Right. So it does seem like so far it seems like a bit of a sandbox, or what's that? Healing item. I'll come back to these two. I mean, if I'm down here, I might as well talk to this salesman.
You see two lowly, defeated speakers. Thralls. Slaves, basically. perched atop them like conquerors surveying the land. A pair of found, durable wear sneakers, Ultra Series.
I can see you've a taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
A pair of found Ultras. The design is impossibly sleek and simple. A futuristic silhouette with a sleek monochrome colorway, a jet black upper, and a silver-lined midsole.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest found sneakers. Super air, super fine, super cool. Only 50 real.
Only? That's madness. These once respectable speakers have been conquered, reduced to a mere prop by the indomitable found Ultras atop them.
Maybe if I get those speakers for 12 real and give them to him.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The sneakers are the stars here.
What about the speakers?
These, officer? These speakers are Samaran garbage. I'm ashamed to even use them for props. Don't waste your time on them.
Can't I just buy the sad conquered Samaran speakers?
No way, officer! These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Low-fi socialist junk.
That's why I want them. I think I might be lo-fi socialist junk myself.
No, officer. You're a high-class policeman who accepts nothing less than the best. Lucky for you, I've got the best on sale.
You don't know what I am. I don't even know myself. I want the speakers.
Well, if you want them... But see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let go of the speakers, where will the sneakers go? I can't leave premium lifestyle sneakers on the ground. If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers too, I could maybe throw in the speakers for little extra. 50 cents?
Damn, so you have to buy the sneakers first.
Leave. Where am I going to jib some money from? Like, it's not going to be honest, is it? We'll get to the body. Don't worry, we'll get to the body soon. Where's he going to go with select that? This is an automatic. Ah, right, a bit of a hidden.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods.
Who is this?
A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II, the opulent, father of Philip IV, the insane."
40%. I'm not confident in that at all. Leave.
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and there is a warm smile on her face. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes, and food money. Maybe she's your...
Grandma?
Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is grey like lead.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'd like to ask you some questions.
No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
Go on, last option. Snap your fingers.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone.
If you say so. Oh, yes. Tank top. More money. Yes, come on now. I need 100 for the room, and it's midday now. Shit. He's massive. Look at the size of him. Yes, come on. Get that money. Alright, yeah, I'll come around, do a loop.
Bastards! We have a right to work!
What's going on here?
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
No.
Good. We're fighting for a cause here.
Right to work! Right to work!
Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
I don't think I've chosen any sides yet.
Might be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. Cops tend to side with the higher-ups, but you're essentially still workers. I don't trust cops, but I can see you understand them.
Right to work! Right to work!
Regardless, I have some questions for you.
Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here.
Shame on you!
We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scab.
Call me Mañana. What does that Mañana mean? What? Do it again tomorrow? Do it tomorrow? I don't know. I want to get in the harbour too.
Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. I'm trying to meet their fat boss.
It's an official matter, not to be discussed.
Right to work!
It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
This really isn't my area of
We
expertise.
are not picking a side in this just yet, sir.
Pity.
Let us work!
Who are all these strike breakers?
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests.
We came here to help the Hala run smoothly in time of crisis. If Union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were
Given a job to do!
What is a strike?
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to log honest work for other people.
What do the strikers want?
Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we
Have the right to work!
There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting.
Ignore.
Fine. It was probably nothing.
What exactly is your goal here?
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
And you're unable to breach the entrance.
Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. But try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guard's blocking the way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is.
Why do you just talk to them?
Like civilized folk, you mean? These native fucks don't understand civilized.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home. At least for now. If you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge.
Scab?
What exactly is a scab?
A kind of a worm. Content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses.
You don't seem to like them much.
Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to Scab. Or I guess scared maybe. But scared of what? Of who? Personally, I'd rather beg than scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something.
Have you tried talking to them?
We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time.
Big guy. He means the leader of the scabs.
I'm not a scab, I'm a cop.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the wild north? Come to see the strife?
Come investigating a murder.
Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder.
Maybe you want us to tell me who did it?
Of course, Policia. It wasn't me. You can rule me out. Easier that way.
He didn't do it. It's the truth.
What's behind these gates? I'm exploring.
My friend, I respect the right to roam. The open range awaits.
Just mean you can let me through?
I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage.
If it's so simple, why did the scab leader warn you of the guards blocking the way?
That's simple. I'll just walk in.
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead and go in.
Past Measurehead?
Yeah, the 2.5-meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him,
Right.
then press the button to unlock the door,
Uh-huh.
then go past him again,
Okay.
and you enter the arbor through the office. Stop.
Gotcha. So I think I have some questions for you first.
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his hair.
Can you give me some money?
Sure thing, my friend.
Oh,
I can help you out.
I'm gonna risk it.
The coin lands
Yes!
in your hand as if it has always belonged there. The swallow returns.
Appreciated.
Always glad to help out the RCM. Shame I can't do more. Things are meager at the moment due to... You know, the winter's fat is slowly running out and all. Still better than scabbing though.
Every little bit helps.
I'm always glad to help out when possible. Not like these slithering scabs.
What's the strike about?
You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him first.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and are on a better footing with the organization.
Oh. In case of strike. Lieutenant, move. Oh, they're all fam.
Nobody betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Don't say anything. Size him up first.
Say nothing, size them up first.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger because you are not a threat to me.
My body is unimportant. I'm with the police and we need to get into the harbour.
That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to Al Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
Kim, is it so bad?
It's not good. It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk and drowned.
Wait, Al Ghul?
Yes, Al Ghul.
He means alcohol.
Oh, understood.
I doubt it. My microcephalic race, so.
Enough. I need you to open the door to the harbour.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is waning.
Show him the ham still got it.
Yeah, right. I am the police and I need you to comply. Now!
Jerking motions. Signs of a late-stage neurodegenerative disorder. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Quakers. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbour.
You're right about all this now. I just need you to let me to go into the harbour.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting the other races to a great world war. Bring your troops to the Simonine Islands and to Boogie Street and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls.
Let's try that conceptualization.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Measurehead, I am the new to this world. Help me understand its races. I need to know what kind of different races there are.
Do you?
I do.
There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need education on?
Type A.
Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun, of course. The Maun are riddled with eczema to the point where they find it impossible to smile. They are all lactose intolerant, a common result of inbreeding. A receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades. In Maun cities like Stadskanaal and Vredefort, wearing wooden clogs on their feet and little green tassels on their hats.
Wait, so who exactly are the Maun?
You know them by the names of their nation states. The Oranese, the Gotwaldians, and the Königsteiners. My people simply call them Maun. The Maun are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial purity Tessocentric culture. Inbreeding has led to a lactose-intolerant subrace whom no one can take seriously.
So who are Type A in your view?
The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the golden Pisantic Sea, the Suren of Sur-la-Clé, and even the North Königsteiners, all have Type A race propensities. The other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. True, they are violent and expansionist, but they have a glandular problem. Overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat-based food, which in turn only produces more sebum.
And who are the Seminese and Aeropigatis in this?
As proven by the Maun and the Mesk, Occidental Type A is in retrograde. The Seminese and the Areopagite are on the ascent.
And the Seminese are?
The indigenous people of this, the Insulindian archipelago. The Seminese inhabit the southern islands. I am Seminese, from the stock of Ulruir on Ile de Fantôme.
And the
The
Aeropigatis?
Areopagites are the master race of the Ile Maran peasants. The Simonese are descendants of the Areopagites. We came here during a heroic migration from Ile Maran to Ansulan. Thousands of years before the lactose-intolerant Maun Occidentals discovered this place.
What's the difference?
The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The Simonese are powerful, mesomorphic. The former is an immutable progenitor, unchanged since the Super Isola of Pericarnassus. Ancient brains rest in their slender skulls. The latter is perfected and adapting. Together they form the Simeno-Areopagite, or Simeopagite super race. That is all. There are no more Type A races in the world.
Nature was not capable of more.
Type B.
Type B are the unheroic races, amorphous non-competitors of the great race. The Koikos and the Vacholier, they are mud-colored people.
Mud-coloured?
To an untrained eye, the Koiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich. But look into their eyes and you will see. They are of an indistinct muddy color, and so is their skin. Unhealthy, sweaty, and ashen. Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the Grad people have undergone for drinking alcohol and smoking the degenerate tobacco and for eating potato. The Koiko, the countless micronationalities of Grad, are all inexplicably obsessed with potard. The only thing they like more is dividing into microscopic ethnostates, like political amoeba.
Potat. And the Vacuoles you mentioned?
The Vacholians, halfway between Type A and the racial Cauldron. Two makes to know right from wrong. You tried your degenerate little evolution, which was the single greatest failure committed by humans in our 82,000-year history on this planet.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening. But that seems a little off.
The revolution was perpetrated by degenerate left-wing marauders, not all the people of Revachol.
The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad, in Saras-ridden potato carts. It is literally an illness, a prion disease that leaves the parietal and frontal lobe ridden with holes. A soft, sponge-like mass of dementia, hallucination, and paranoia. The revolution is fatal familial insomnia. A hereditary prion condition passed from the Khoico to the Occidentals. But not sexually. Probably through trade routes and potate acid, the prime component of the potato plant. Enough of Tibet mediocrity.
The files CF rate called enough pedestal, please.
Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. They are tortured creatures waiting to be put to sleep. Your morbid interest in them worries me.
Chimeric experiments.
Lesser races like the mosquito, a grotesque mixture of a masked woman and a Seminese man. Only possible if the mother is Basque and the father Seminese. The other way around, they fail to produce offspring. The mosquito is born sterile, like a donkey. All they have left is to ride customized motor carriages with hydraulic suspension, listening to aggressive El Mariachi music to vent their impotent despair.
It seems unlikely that two human beings produce genetically sterile offspring.
Maybe I misunderstood, but aren't humans too similar to produce genetically sterile offspring?
You are right. You have misunderstood. You lack basic phylogenetic education.
The sage will not budge on this.
Any more?
Then there is the Semino Koiki Chimera. Are you sure you wish to know of the Semino Koiki Chimera? It is not an aesthetic site.
Yes.
The Khoico, as you know, are very servile, especially when they meet the rich man. Racial scientists have toyed with the idea of crossing the Seminese with the Khoico to produce a super worker of Seminese strength and Grad servility. This will never happen. The Seminese and the Khoico may have similar interbreeding problems as the mosquito. We will never know precisely. No Seminese man could maintain an erection in the suffocating potato stench of a Khoico woman or Khoika. But enough. It is cruel to entertain ourselves with the deformities of Type F. Were there any able-bodied races you needed education on?
Now that we've been through all the types, do I understand advanced race theory?
You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone solved it.
Will you let me into the harbour if I do?
We will see.
Access to the Union is important for our investigation, but there may be another way, without becoming a race theoretician.
Am I mildly worried he might take it seriously? The lieutenant thinks. Yes, I am, he concludes. I am worried.
How do I word the mystery?
You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. This clarity does not come instantly. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss, Tibere.
Knock him out.
Your love for disco music and venereal disease?
You serve the Union, don't you? Are they white?
Oh, don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that.
There must be some friction there. He's keeping it well hidden, however.
Yeah, but you still serve them. How do you factor that into your life? Oh no, you keep telling yourself that.
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront polycultural capital, something your race, naivistic communists, never did. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic.
I'm no communist.
Of course you are, Levasholian man. The failure of communism to challenge the world order is the core of your race fate. All around you, the fruits of its defeat. Individualism, rock and roll music, sexually transmitted disease. Above all, rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, where have you gotten your love of pathetic communism from? Degenerate youth culture? Rock and roll music?
I've gotten it from disco, actually.
Offshoots of the Seminoles people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. It is a shame upon my race. But what is done is done. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminoles race.
Wonderful. We're done here with this line of inquiry.
Stoically looks to the distance in silence.
What are your tattoos supposed to mean?
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race. I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt.
Are you sure I'm not chronologically superior to you?
You exhibit forward projection of the jaw, indicative of schizophrenia and sexual inaccountability. From a purely aesthetic standpoint, the dimple in your jaw makes you look like a baby. This is not craniometry, just an observation.
What else?
It is impossible to see any more of your bone structure. It is covered in the ravages of Al-Hul. From what remain of your features, I can see fleshy lips, baldness of the head, and long arms relative to lower limbs. This leads me to conclude you are not a police officer. You are a common criminal, an offspring of murderers and sailors from Sur-la-Clé and Vesper, and possibly even the degenerate sheep herders of Ubi.
Maybe I'm the murderer that I'm going to be searching for. Interesting. So one of my ancestors was Sir Claire and the other Vesper.
Your racial heritage is uninteresting. It is the same as all Rivasholians. Your parents and their parents made the decision to reproduce while under the influence of Al-Hul. That is the only reason you are here.
He's right there. It's almost impossible to get it on unless you're both drunk. It's too scary when people are sober.
Kim, what do you think about this?
I don't think anything about this. We are wasting our time having this conversation.
Your pedomorphic friend is right. You should leave here with your tail between your legs, contemplating race extinction. I am an immovable obstacle.
Leave. Okay, so Oh, I say. Oh, fuck me, get down. How do you get down? So, magnesium. Right. Tell you what, I'll talk to the other people when I come out. I'm gonna go to the body now.